when it comes to YouTube and doing optimization is your title and your thumbnail. So the idea here when I choose a title is that it is mostly curiosity based and it's less how to and it's more of my experience. So for example, instead of creating a video on how to get more YouTube views, I'm going to title a video like that, how I've uploaded over 1,000 YouTube views and here's 10 things I discovered. Do you see the difference in the lived experience versus like the boring generic how to that anyone can Google or look up with ChatGPT nowadays? The next thing I'll do is I'll specifically think of my thumbnail design and also copy before I hit record. That way, like for example, in this video, I made sure that I took a 30-second screen share video, meaning just 30 seconds of me doing different poses with the silver play button so that my editors can grab a screenshot of this and create the thumbnail design for this specific video. And then I also think of the copy and the text is going to go on the thumbnail. When it comes to thumbnail practices, just really quick, the basics, you know that you want a nice, clean, clear image of yourself, not a lot of mess in the background, preferably a white background, and you don't want any more than 3 to 5 words on the actual thumbnail. This is like thumbnail 101. And also know that the copy on the thumbnail needs to be curiosity based as well and should be completely different than the actual title of your thumbnail. All right, so after you upload the video onto your channel and you're hit with the detail screen in the YouTube studio, you're like, okay, let's start to optimize. So after you put your thumbnail and title in the description, then the fun begins. And let me just say, here is what powers my entire pre-optimization strategy and how I don't have to remember every single time what to do. It's all laid out. So I have an Asana board. Okay, and in that Asana board, I have everything scripted, planned out, but what makes the Asana board so important is that every single thing I need to do is mapped out. So what this means is the Asana board holds the place where I have my content pillars of my channel, so I never lose sight of what those are, right? The content pillars are YouTube for business, content creation, and YouTube tips, and making more money on YouTube with your business. Okay, so what I have is a template task. All right, so if you know Asana, you know that everything is based off project and then a task. And then when I click on this task and it says template, when you come all the way through here, I understand exactly, and my team does as well, what we do every single video. So it's all listed out and a step never gets missed. And then when I scroll over to the right side of the Asana board, I have everything I do every time that I film a video. So I have scripting, filming, transferring the footage, briefing to my editor, the editing, in review, and then of course publication, where all of the YouTube videos and information for that video project are housed. So going back here to the template, like this video right here, 10 things I do before I hit publish on my YouTube videos, I click on it and I go into my script, okay? And what I do is I have my light script right here so that I have a list of things that I want to remember. And then when I go back to the main one, okay, and then also what I do is I take inspiration. You can see here, this guy's Dan the Creator. I take thumbnail inspiration of videos on the same topic that already convert. So I have that in the main description. And then so I have the script here, notes, thumbnail creation, so I can see what's next on the to-do list. Okay, so then I will be able to easily go into the YouTube studio and go down the list of the description, tags, etc. Which brings me to my next point, and that is a keyword-rich description. So next what I do is I leverage ChatGPT. This is where the first ChatGPT prompt comes in handy. And I tell ChatGPT, based on the title and the transcript of the video, which you can access the transcript for free on auto-generated in the subtitles, I combine that and I tell ChatGPT to give me about 100 character paragraph SEO rich description in my voice of what this video is about to make sure it attracts attention with the algorithm. And it does. It creates a beautiful paragraph that I then copy and paste, put into the description. And then at the same time, to kill two birds with one stone, then I say in the same prompt, give me 20 comma separated keywords that are going to be recognizable with this algorithm and that relate to the video. And then all I do again is copy and paste the comma separated, and then I put it in the secondary keyword, or AKA tag area of the backend optimization, and boom, I have that. So those two things are created within just a couple of minutes. The next thing that I do not forget is I always put my main funnel or whatever I'm trying to drive traffic to in the video on the very first link or line, I should say, very first line of the description. Now this is interesting because before I always used to say, hey, you have to put the title of the video on the first link so it's better for YouTube optimization and more searchable in Google. That's not really relevant anymore. And I'm a business owner. I always want to drive traffic to my business and website and funnels first. So you'll always see probably 90% of the time my lead magnet right there on the front line, or I'm sorry, the top line of the description. And then all other relevant links to my website, to my affiliate links, to other courses I have will be towards the middle. So as a recap, we've talked about so far the title, thumbnail, a paragraph keyword rich description, funnel and website links. Now the next thing you need to do is focus on cards. Okay, so a card is the link right here that'll pop up like, hey, check out this video I just made about the 9 things I do to leverage AI as I'm growing a channel of less than 1,000 subscribers. And there'll be a link, boop, right here that pops up. That is a card. And that's super easy to do. You just click where it says cards and you pin in the video where you want a video to pop up or a link or a channel. And side note, you can't add a link to a website until your channel is officially monetized with the Google AdSense program, but I highly recommend adding links to other YouTube videos and playlists in the meantime. The next thing, which is extremely important, is an end screen. And the reason why it's so important is because oftentimes we think that the CTR of the channel, meaning the thumbnails, are really important, which they are, but there are 2 CTRs on a YouTube channel that are important. That's the CTR of the people that are clicking on your thumbnail and your video, and the CTR of the end screen. So how many people are continuing to click and watch your videos after the video is done? So you have 2 of them, right? You have the CTR of the main channel, which should be between 7 to 10% for a small channel, between 4 to 6% for a bigger channel, and the click-through rate of an end screen, which should be above 3 to 4%. That's a very healthy range. And the way we do it here at Subscribers to Sales and on my team is we always shout out a video. That's it. We don't want people like going to the subscribe button. We put one thing, and that is a playlist. On a square, you'll see the template pop up of the end screen. My video editors put like arrows, like watch next video. So it's very clear. I just want you to do one thing, watch the next video. And pro tip, when you put the next video, make sure you put it in a playlist so that people are clicking onto a playlist and not just a single video. All right, so we went over secondary keywords, also known as tags. I use ChatGPT to create those tags, and then you just make sure you copy and paste them in the tag section. Then this one right here, watch your video. Okay, make sure you watch it on unlisted, obviously. And you want to make sure you're putting a first comment on your video because everyone sees the first comment and you want to make sure you pin it. Okay, so you want to make sure in the first comment it's saying something engaging like, hey, what's your biggest takeaway of this video? Or drop your favorite recipe if you made a video about the best vegan recipes. But make sure you pin the comment to the top so that it doesn't get lost in the comments you get after. And then you put your most important website link or funnel link in that pinned comment as well. All right, the last 2 things aren't super important to SEO, but I've decided like I want to include them as we do SEO, and those are timestamps and hashtags. I'm not a huge fan of hashtags, honestly. You can use hashtags or not. Like I heard a statistic somewhere that it's only the driver of like 0.1% of traffic. So for discoverability, hashtags aren't really relevant, but you know, whatever, we use them anyway. And so it's really easy to ask ChatGPT to make timestamps for you. You just basically say, hey, here's my video, here's the title, here's the transcript, create 6 to 8 timestamps for this video. Make sure they're curiosity based and they don't give away the point, and they'll create the timestamps for you, but it's impossible for them to get the actual time right. They don't know how to evaluate the time and where words are said in the video. So that's where it's kind of like, hey, it's probably best to just do this by hand or have a channel manager do this for you. Okay, the next step is actually a bonus step and it's not mission critical, but think about it, okay? And this is something I'm actually testing as well. So proceed at your own caution. I don't know how this will perform, but I'm excited about it to try, and that is YouTube Shorts. So my plan is to take a long form content segment, or for every long form video, have my editors take a really great segment from that video or several segments and combine it into one to make a power clip and repurpose that and create a YouTube short out of it. And then also create a original reel style short where it's me talking in my cell phone outside by the trees or whatever about the topic of this video. And the idea is for both of those two shorts to link to this long form video or whatever long form video I'm doing and push traffic to it, okay? And get those short viewers to be and convert to long form viewers and watch my long form content. I made a whole video about how I believe that YouTube finally fixed the shorts algorithm to finally cross promote long form videos correctly. So I'll leave that link in the description as well or up here so you can check that out. Okay, the next thing, I think I mentioned it, but just real quick in case I didn't, you want to make sure you watch your video and give it a like. That's it. That's it. Okay, next thing. Reply to comments. Now this is after the video is published, but it's really great practice for you to reply to all comments the first hour after it's published, especially if you have a channel with over 100,000 subscribers or whatever. Like, the comments can really start to pop off, especially when people have conversations in the comments, but you want to be sure you're responding to all of those. So that's post optimization. We're talking about pre, but I just wanted to mention that. Community tab. This is so important and very overlooked. What you want to do is when a video is gonna go live, you can pre-schedule the videos in your community tab. So what that means is you can go to your community tab, click on new video, and you grab the video and you just say, hey, here's the latest video, link to it, and schedule it to post and go live shortly after your YouTube video goes live. And you don't want to miss this step because community tab is a source of traffic. And it may seem, especially if your channel is small, that no one's clicking and no one's watching and it doesn't matter. People are clicking. I can promise you, okay? Because now it's really cool because on mobile, when you see a video that's posted in the community tab, it starts playing automatically so they can see the beginning, 10, 20 seconds of the video, which is even more reason why people are clicking on those videos that are posted natively in the community tab. Here's another great thing to get in the habit of once you have all the prior things I mentioned down and you have a YouTube editor who does the thumbnails and also community manager. Start split testing your thumbnails, okay? Because for example, on a recent video I did, which was called I Challenge You to Commit to 90 Days to YouTube, I had my editors create two versions of the thumbnail. One had text at the bottom and the other one didn't. And so what we do is we set those up to split test against each other. So in the YouTube studio area in the details where you upload the thumbnail, there's an option where it says test and compare, and then you can actually split test up to 3 thumbnails. Okay, this is really cool, but this is going to give you the winner, and this is everything, because if you're able to gain an extra 3,000 views just from simply split testing a thumbnail, this is so important. So it's worth the extra effort for the graphic designer or person doing your thumbnails to create 2 to 3 versions to split test right away so you can find out what the winner is and keep that one.